All right. What is going on? This is my UFC postcard UFC London postcard breakdown. Wow. Man, what a terrible just a terrible night of fights. I mean, I literally fell asleep during this. I went to go take a little nap break because these fights were just super duper boring. Call me, casual or not a true fan or whatever. Typically, I like to have a nap during the day, and typically it's in the middle of the day. I try to get as much sleep as I could the night beforehand. Might have smoked a little bit too much during the card, so that might have put me to sleep. But either way, um, it was a really boring night. I mean, I'm going to show you a little clip during this, but I had a very, very long nap. I think I missed a couple cards. Typically, I do a pretty good job of jotting down, what happens and stuff during them. But man, I was just, ugh, back and forth, just passing out. And I took a little nap. So, anyways, I got my second window up over here so that way I can go through what happened. And I did not have the best pick rate. So I picked Guram Kutateladze for the first round. And I'm just going to move this over here real quick. There we go. There we go. All right, so I had Guram Kutateladze by decision, and he ended up getting just absolutely pieced up. Well, I don't know if I like that light though. All right, like being that right, put it like that maybe. It's kind of a weird light to have on you like that. You know what I mean? So a little bit better. Okay, not the best production, but whatever. Anyways, Cal Fernandez ended up winning. He just made Guram Kutateladze look ridiculous. Guram, how do you have Ilya Kamzat and, Alexander Tupuria all in your corner and just get absolutely pieced up? He was a minus 425 favorite, by the way. Pretty crazy looking back on that because he got schooled by Cal Fernandez pretty badly. Um, this one went against what I picked as well. Nathan Fletcher ended up losing to Cal Lochran. Um, I like Cal Lochran, but he just has a horrible, very boring striking style. He's definitely going to try to grapple, but he didn't do anything from his grappling during the fight. It was a very boring fight. Nathan Fletcher should have gotten that. Whatever though. Moving on to the next one. I mean, not too much to talk about with these fights. I mean, they're just nothing to really, no purpose or I'm not saying they have no purpose, but just nothing too crazy. At least for most of them. This next one though, we got Sean O'Bannon versus Pooja Tomar. Now I picked Sean O'Bannon by decision or by KO. I did not see her getting a submission against Pooja Tomar. What I didn't, expect either was Pooja Tomar getting an insane head kick off of her, dropped her, and then could not finish her. I feel really bad for her because that totally probably should have called it. It was definitely one of those things if Zhang Weili's gonna get head kicked like that, by Rose, they should arguably have let Zhang recover. There's just unfortunate. It all depends on the ref. All depends on the ref you get. You could have an overzealous ref and a ref that just lets you die. So yeah. Anyways, Shauna Band gets a armbar submission against Pooja Tomar. Unfortunately, India can just not get a single W in the UFC right now. I know Anshudu believe won on Dana White's Contender Series, but he has not won in the actual UFC yet. I believe that first fight he had was actually his first debut fight in the UFC. And now Pooja Tomar had the win right in her lap and fumbled it, threw it up in the air, and Shauna Bannon gets it. 2 wins for Ireland. I mean, I can't be too mad. I can't be too mad getting 2 wins for Ireland, even though they, you know, whatever. She honestly was doing good during the fight. Shauna Bannon was doing good up until that head kick. But either way, moving on. Chris Leroy Duncan. Now this is one I got right. This was another decision, I believe. Let me see if I can get the thing here. There we go. Yes. Um, yeah, he ended up getting a unanimous decision win. It was also pretty boring. Nothing really remarkable about that fight. Andrei Pulev does not look very good in his debut. He was doing a lot of running against the cage. Christian Leroy Duncan was kind of just doing his thing. Wasn't really connecting big though. Um, yeah, and it's kind of just, hitting a lot of wind in that fight. Nothing really noticeable. Uh, Moving on to the next one though. Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. Again, this was the one where I was saying, oh, these two fat blobs are fighting. Nothing really going on. It was such a boring heavyweight fight. Such a boring heavyweight fight. Mick Parkin, apparently he did a lot more. To me, honestly, just looked like both of them were just so late, like just so lazy, man. Where's the finishing spirit? I don't know where that finishing spirit is, but it's definitely not in Mick Parkin's heart, which disappoints me because I'm Mick MMA. Gotta have Mick Parkin win, but whatever. Moving on. I guess Marcin Tybura fights maybe a Sergey Pavlovich next. Maybe Jailton Almeida. Ooh, that's exciting. Am I right? Moving up, Loder Kavanaugh versus Felipe Dos Santos. This is another one I got right. Didn't get very many right, but I got some right. Loner Kavanaugh ends up getting a unanimous decision. I had him getting the round 1 or round 2 KO or TKO, but he gets the unanimous decision. Again, nothing really of note. Good to see Loner Kavanaugh win though and move up. We need another good British prospect in the flyweight division. Another reason to throw him onto a London card. So that's good for him. Hopefully he gets a ranked match next. I think this is his second or third fight in the UFC. Again, just like missing a lot of finishes that we need. This one too, I was asleep during. I did not catch this one. I'm gonna be completely honest. Not really watch. I don't even really watch Leonard Kavanaugh and Felipe Dos Santos either. Like I can't really talk much about these guys. I'm gonna be completely honest. Um, yeah, apparently Chris Padilla won by a split decision. Come on, Jai Herbert. Like we need to. It was just a really, really lackluster, boring night. Nathaniel Wood ended up winning, which is good because I ended up picking Morgan Shire, so I got another one wrong. But I did say in my prediction video that I was rooting for Nathaniel Wood to win because I like Nathaniel Wood. But yeah, Morgan Shire doesn't knock him out or get TKO. Nathaniel Wood actually, this was one I was up for. He actually knocked him down in the first round, and I was like, oh, as I was saying, these fights are boring, and then it goes back to being boring, unfortunately. Just, yeah, not what we want to see. Unfortunately, even though my pick was wrong, fortunately, even though my pick was wrong, unfortunately, my pick was wrong, but fortunately, the guy who I wanted to win, Nathaniel Wood, won, so, yeah. Moving up to the next one, Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. Ugh, man, this one hurts too. Jordan Vucenic, for some reason, decides to shoot and gets submitted by Chris Duncan in the second round. I was really hoping Jordan Vucenic would do good. I was really looking forward to him winning, and yeah, he just low IQ decision, unfortunately. A lot of low IQ decisions made during this fight night. I gotta say, this was a night of really low fight night IQ and or fight IQ, not fight night IQ. Fight IQ and a lot of bad decisions made. Hopefully, that gets improved upon. Not the best for Jordan Vucenic to be going 0-2 in his first 2 fights in the UFC. I think he gets one more. Shot, and then he's got to finish. He's got to get a really good finish or a really good war decision. in order for him to stay in the UFC. Because going 0-2, even though really highly talented prospect in the regionals, Cage Warriors, stuff like that, really great fights. UFC's different, man. You either belong here or you don't, and so hopefully he belongs. Would like to see him belong to the UFC. So, anyways, moving on. Another disappointing match. Even though I wanted Molly McCann to win, and yes, I know this is crazy. I wanted Molly McCann to win. I know, someone who's tries to put on entertaining fights, will somewhat talk. All right, tries to promote the fight a little bit. You know, and she gets a decent amount of viewership. Whether people want to admit it or not, she gets a decent amount of viewership. She put on some really exciting moments in WMMA. You gotta appreciate that. Okay, you don't see very many women getting spinning back elbows, and she had another good finish. I guess I think her name was like Hannah Goldie or whatever. She had two little good moments. Okay, let her. I don't know why people gotta hate on her that much. Okay, all these other women just they don't really have much of a personality, or play it too safe and stuff like that. So Molly McCann was very refreshing, I believe, during that 2021 to 2023 era of when they went to like London 2 times with Patty. And those were two really great cards. Whether people want to admit it or not, Molly McCann helped contribute to that. So as much as people shit on her and stuff like that, like you gotta admit she did some good things. She got a lot of views. But yeah, Alexia Farina, I think I said that right, actually, unironically. But anyways, I'll try not to pronounce it twice in a different way. She ended up winning by submission in round 1. Molly McCann just really never had that much of a ground game, to be honest. And she just kind of got outbigged. The other girl was a little bit bigger than her, outmuscled her, and got the submission. Moving up, Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. Another pick I got wrong, but I'm happy about this one. Kevin Holland actually looked like he tried a little bit that night. Knocked him down with the 1-2. He has one of the best 1-2s in the game, man. He throws a 1-2 with intention, and he can knock someone out at 170. He needs to let go of being at 185. He really needs to let it go. He needs to stay at 170, continue with fighting maybe one more, maybe like 15 or 14 ranked person in welterweight. And then let's start getting back in there to fighting top guys in welterweight. Because he definitely can hang in there if he goes with intention. Okay, if he goes in there and has intention with his striking and his grappling and stuff like that, then he can do really good at 170. And even though he stayed on his back a little bit longer than I would like, he did have a lot of good moments, and he was able to get off a lot of effective striking from actually off his back. But there's moments where I was just like, Kevin, please get off your back, get back on your feet, man. Especially when Gunnar was just kind of standing on his 2 legs there and not really like going deeper into Kevin's guard. I feel like Kevin could have sweeped him or something, like grabbed his ankle from underneath him and like pulled it up, or just find a different way to engage him from there other than just like exchanging strikes. But at the end of the day, he ended up getting it done by decision. Really glad for him. As much as people are hating on Kevin Holland, I want to see him succeed. I want to see him do good. I want to see him become a more likable person. Maybe chill it with a little bit with some of the reporter threatening and stuff like that. But either way, Kevin Holland, he could be something. He's only 32. He's got 3 or 4 really good years in his athletic prime that he can use to get up into title contention. I'm just saying. Would love to see him rematch Buckley, because I think that fight would be a lot better than what people think. So, and I think that would really motivate Holland too. I think Buckley being above him in welterweight should motivate him to get back up there, and remind people how good Kevin Holland is at striking. But Anyways, moving on. Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. Um, this was a pretty, unfortunately, kind of nothing burger fight. Um, Carlos Ulberg, I thought he was gonna blitz a little bit more on Jan, and honestly try to get a finish, but he was really hesitant, and Jan was pushing forward the whole time, keeping forward pressure, hitting really good leg kicks, getting off some good strikes. He did get cut above his eyebrow, but I don't think it was that punishing of a strike. He was up ahead, I believe, on significant strikes as well, which is confusing as to why he didn't get the win. He's really weird. I think you can say it's a robbery, honestly, because I hate to cope, but when when it's like that even and stuff, there has to be some you know little bit of control as far as it goes for who's pushing forward, engaging that action and stuff like that. And it was Jan the whole time, so sucks to see that happen to Jan. I don't know what he ends up getting next. Hopefully he gets like a, I don't know, maybe a Rakic rematch. Maybe a Rakic rematch. Maybe he fights the loser of the Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree fight, or the loser of well, there's another big fight at light heavyweight. That was me, and I forgot. Yeah, just the loser of Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree. Um, Whoever loses that fights Jan and stays in that top 10 area and helps get their way back up to title contention. But yeah, we will see. I don't think Carl Solberg gets the nod to fight for the title because that was a kind of boring fight. So I think he'll have to fight Yuri, or someone like that in the top four. You know, um, yeah, I think someone. Who else am I? Is Rakic still in the top five? I'll have to check that out later. But anyways, yeah, another one I got wrong. I did not do great on my picks. But again, I don't think a lot of people did because there was a lot of split decisions and overall really boring decisions, and not the way a lot of people thought this was gonna go. Same thing with the main event here. Another really unexpected fight. Um, Kind of honestly a replay of Leon's last fight, if not even worse, to be honest, because he just could not do anything in the grappling department against Sean Brady. Sean Brady has such a big upper torso and arms and shoulders and just like thick meaty chest and traps and stuff like that. I feel like he has a really underrated squeeze probably that guys aren't used to. Um, I know I clowning on Sean Brady for getting TKO'd by Bilal Muhammad, but I'm guessing maybe that was just a really off night. Because he was taking elbows really well from Leon Edwards off the clinch and a lot of decent strikes from Leon Edwards. But the thing with Leon Edwards, man's is like, where is his like fit? I feel like some fighters have like combos that set up finishes or something like that, and he just like I know the head kick finish was a combo or whatever, is like the uh, jab and then the fucking head kick or whatever. I forget what it was exact how he got the head kick. Gonna be completely honest, but um, like I feel like Michael Chandler, even though he really overthrows and swings and misses, at least he's like trying to set up. All right, I'm gonna go body, and then I'm gonna go head as hard as I fucking can to take his head off. And Leon Edwards is like tip tap there, leg kick there, little jab there, little 1-2, maybe a little hook or something like that. He's not really like, all right, I'm pressing forward, I'm gonna fucking oblique kick his leg, and then I'm gonna jab off that and stuff like that. Like he's just very, I don't know. He's like a very like a safer version of Izzy, because at least I feel like Izzy took a little bit more chances. But Leon Edwards, man, he really holds back. He was just really, I don't know if he was again really afraid of the grappling or whatever, but he was just dominated by Sean Brady. Sean Brady kind of did whatever he wanted to him as far as the grappling exchanges went, And in some of the striking exchanges, he was popping off some good shots on him. You know, God, and like this was the one of the worst parts about it is that this the takedown attempt that Leon Edwards shot was probably one of the worst shots you could shoot possible. This is like what little kids do in wrestling in America when they're first learning. They shoot with their heads down, and they're shooting with their knees, all horrible and stuff like that. Because he did not set up any sort of penetration shot. He just went, and then just why would you do that against Sean Brady, the obviously better grappler? And yeah, he ended up paying for it. Gets submitted in his own hometown. I think people were leaving as that fight was going on. And yeah, Leon Edwards, man, his career is coming out to be really, really mid. The Colby Covington and Usman wins are just not that impressive anymore, honestly. Colby's number 8 now. Usman, I don't know where he's ranked, but I know he's down there as well. I know I think maybe he's number 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 or something. I know he can't be that high up there anymore. I know he's definitely dropped down from his inactivity. If he does fight again, I mean, who does Usman even fight? That makes sense. Going off topic a little bit, but like, it's not good when your last, big fights, your big title defenses were against Colby Covington and Usman now, we're being completely honest. And the Nate Diaz win doesn't look good in hindsight because Nate Diaz almost beat him. The inactivity of Leon Edwards was really bad for his career. I know he got a long win streak and stuff, but that's because he was playing it very, very safe, fighting like once a year, every once in a while, not really getting his name out there, not, being a huge interaction with the fans, and stuff like that. Leon Edwards was like very mainly unknown until he, started having like fight rumors with Kamzat and stuff like that. If we're gonna be completely honest, Leon Edwards has never been that big of a name until he got that now what a lot of people are calling a fluke head kick against Kamaru Usman. Because imagine if he never hit head kick Kamaru Usman. I mean, and then he has to fight like another up and coming contender next. I don't think Leon Edwards would have beat any contenders in the 170, to fight for Kamaru Usman. So, yeah, sucks to see. Sucks to see for Leon Edwards. Yeah, his career is just coming to a very unfortunate mid ending. People are calling him a quitter and stuff now, and he is giving off a lot of quitter vibes, man. Especially tapping out like that in front of his home crowd, man. Shooting a takedown like that is just diabolical work, diabolical. But yeah. Anyways, that's my little breakdown for UFC London. If anything, Leon, maybe he fights Ian Gary next. Could be possible. I know their timeline wouldn't be, unfortunately, the same, and Ian Gary's looking for a fight fast. But Leon Edwards didn't take a crazy amount of damage, if we're going to be completely honest, so maybe he has a quick 3-month recovery and they fight him soon with Ian Gary or something like that. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I want to say I'm interested what happens with Leon Edwards next, but I'm not really, man. We got the new age of fighters coming in, taking over people who are in the rankings for years and years, and I think Usman definitely, he had a great run, but in retrospect, looking back at these wins now and stuff, we look at some of these careers of these guys, and we're like, ugh, are their wins that impressive? I know they got the records, but yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Really, really appreciate it. This one's going to be, I'm including that clip from TikTok, so it's a little bit edited. I'm going to show it at the beginning there. Funny how I'm talking about what I'm going to do for the edit of this at the end here. But anyways, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And I will see you next time.